Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I went looking for some galvanized material, some tubing for the metal building there. We need to put some walls up. We need to get starting to close it in a little bit, keep the rain and wind out. But I struck out. I went to a few places. No one was carrying the galvanized material that I needed. I went to another place and the guy said, I'm trying to get it. He says he cannot find a supplier for this material because he says he has a need for it. This is a place that sells metal roofing and all kinds of other things for metal buildings. So I was there and I noticed in the dumpster that they had all these big pieces of cardboard. What happens is they get their metal and it's flat metal. I think it's round, around these tubes. And what they do is then they run this flat metal through their machine to make the contour of the metal, the V metal. So I asked him if I could have some and he said no problem. These are very similar to what you can call sonic tubes in the building industry. And what they use them for is if you need to pour concrete, and you can pour concrete in these. Now, if you're going to build a shed, a bug out location, anything, a little cabin, you're going to need a foundation. And you can use this as part of your foundation. Because let's say you have to come out of the ground with concrete, you can definitely dig a footer and use block, but that costs money, and you got to know what you're doing. You can use one of these. You can set these up exactly, put your batter boards up, know where all your straight lines are going to be for your building, and you can use these. The nice thing about these is you can dig down and get the earth out. Just dig down, get the earth out, so you can let that concrete lock into the earth. If you're trying to build it up to code, you'll have to check that, but letting that concrete go into the earth to lock it in place. And then all you got to do is pour this. Now they make all kinds of ways to attach your pressure treated to this, and there's some ways you can do it. They're expensive, but you can improvise. I'm not going to share those ideas right now, but you can use this to elevate it off of the ground. It's all concrete, so termites and bugs aren't going to eat it. The only thing that you might want to do, if you're in the center of your building, you can definitely use these as columns to hold up your floor joists. Let's say you're on the sides of the building and you don't want this sticking out because you'll have your building here. This stuff is so much better than the sonic tubes. And sonic tubes can get a little bit pricey because they're one-time use. You use them and then you have to throw them away because they're cardboard. They're very thin. Some of this stuff is very, very thick, as you can see. So let's hypothetically say you have a square building you're building and you don't want this sticking out, so if water gets on it, what you could do with this stuff for sure is cut you a piece of plywood or OSB, and you could put it across here to make this all straight. So all your sonic tubes would have a straight line, so it'll just look better. And this material is so thick, you could definitely put a piece of plywood, cut it, put it in here, put some wood on the outside and just throw some screws in it. Very quick and efficient, so it'd make your building very nice and neat. The cost of this is absolutely free. Also, you have other uses for this stuff. Say you want to put a mailbox up, and maybe it's just hard digging in the earth, and you can't do it. You can put one of these down, put your pole in it, pour your concrete, it's going to be there. Or you might want to have a raised flagpole. Or you know you can't dig too far down, and you want to have a fence. You know, you can put one of these in the ground, dig what you can, and it'll just be more concrete. And you can cut these things. You can make them any height you want. So I got some, these are close to 2 feet. These are definitely way over 3 feet. They're about 20 inches across, so they're pretty big. So it's going to save me money, and I got some use for them now. So this is just another way I prep. I look for ways I can save money. I love reusing things. I hate throwing things away, and this is definitely something I could use. You could also, if you want to do some landscaping around the house, and you might have an area where people can drive through your lawn, and you can definitely do this. Make some very nice barriers. You could paint them. You could also paint this nice and pretty, put some where people could drive through your property. You could put a nice potted plant on top of this, and it would look good, and it would also give you some ballistic protection. It would give you some denying people the ability to drive through your property if you have these every 3 or 4 feet spread out. So this is how I prep. I try to reuse, recycle. I finally found a source for these, so I'll be able to share them with other preppers in my area that might have a project. Something like this could easily cost you 25 bucks. For one of these sonic tubes of this size could cost you more. Plus, it's free, and I love free recycling. Thanks for watching.